Okay, this is part 2 of Microsoft Teams. This is going to be more about if you're a staff or if you're an administrator and you want to create a team. It's a little more, it's not so much of a tutoring aspect. It's more of, how we get going maybe as getting the whole school together on here and we can all communicate. Let's start with our basic page. So this is kind of where we left off last time. Here's your page. Here's your general conversation. You come down here and you can say hello, testing. You get a reply here. Of course, you can attach, any kind of file. You can add emojis, GIFs. You can make things. You could join with the video. I won't do that now. And you could add a lot of other apps right here. But let's create a team. Looks like we got a few teams here. We're starting to build. We're going to start right here where it says create a team. You got 4 choices, which is very nice. A class, which you probably won't need to do because we're going to have Brightspace and we have Blackboard, but I know there are some classes here on Microsoft Teams. Professional learning community, educator working group, that could definitely be one of our groups. Staff, this is the one I like right now. And other clubs, activities, after school type of stuff. Let's go with staff. We'll call this, we'll say this is the Marine Science Department. And let's see, this is the Marine Science Department. Let's just put this, let's just leave it like that, private. So this is where you can choose if it's private or public. Very important right here. This would be like your staff. This would be administrators. So this would definitely be private. Next. I could start adding people. I'm not going to add anybody right now. I'll just put A. There's a lot of people we could add. I would pick one. I would hit add. And they would get an email that you've been added to this group. But I'm going to skip that. There's a professional learning group. As you can see, it looks the same. But once you get into the actual mode, it'll look different. Let's call this Marine Science. Call inscription, communication, and private. Next. I'm not going to add anybody. So I've just created 2 teams here. And I can show you how we can actually change it, the privacy settings. Right now they're both private. You could say this one would be more of your staff. And this one could be, you could have access to your students where they could see, you could open all kinds of stuff that's not such private, department information. Over here you could have your students access this. So right here, manage team. Right now I'm the owner, but because I just created it, but you can add members in the same way that we were before. You can also add a channel, and we'd call maybe this staff schedule, something like that. Or Not that you would need it, just put a staff. How's that? How's that? Staff communication, CONN. Just do that. Standard. Yeah, this is the private channel. And you could add people, which we won't do right now. And you see how it made another channel. These are teams, these are channels. Let's go to this one. I'm going to edit my team. And I am going to make it public. And I could choose a different icon for it. This is a marine biology. Let's just use that one. So now I've got the Marine Science Department, which is private. We've got the General Communication tab where we could talk here. Talk in general information. And this is the send over here, the little airplane. There we go. Staff. This would be more serious stuff, files, meetings, all kinds of stuff we could drop here. And just talk, have a meeting, of course, go up and have a video call with everybody. Let's make another channel here. Student help. Students can get clarification on homework, something like that. And this would definitely be standard because now this one is not private. This is a public one. This one here, any student could come and look at that stuff, so you would know that ahead of time as a department. You would talk about this. Anything you staff related, department related would go in here. And if you probably would be in both teams if you're in the department. If you're just a student, you would just be in this team. You would be in both teams, and you would just know that on here anything could be seen. This is public. And another thing that's kind of cool is you could do an at mention, as it says right there. You could do an at. I'm just going to put an A. Oh, I don't have anybody. Nobody's in this team. So if somebody was in this team, let's do the general over here. I could do an at mention, and then people with R's, I could put them there. They would get a notice in their email that somebody had talked about them in one of these conversations. Of course, your chat, you could have a chat with everybody. You could just have a chat with one person. Teams, that's where we just sat. Assignments, that's more for supervisors. I haven't explored this. This is a really powerful tool for teachers and supervisors. Here's the calendar. I went over this in the first one. Calls, this is more technical. You really don't have to go here for calls, but this is a whole other way to call people. You can add a speed dial. You can add a group. Files, this is where all your files are going to be transferred to, but they're not doubled. These will be the same files that are in SharePoint, so you're not doubling work. You can add apps over here. Let me go back to Teams. You could add any of these apps that you want to over here. And go back to Teams. Okay, that's how to add or join a team. Right here. Over here, if you wanted to join one of these teams, you would just hover over it, join team. And what we did is we created a team. All right. Well, thanks. This is part 2. I just wanted to add that. And if you guys need any help, give me a call or email. That's it. Thank you.